Hi guys, Maikeru here. This is my video on the lowest level QBD kill in the game. I've actually had this video done for a long time. I got this kill at the start of the year, but I never got round to editing the video together and making the video, so I thought I'd do that now and showcase my level 37 QBD kill. Obviously, I went through all of the processes. I had to get herblore on this account, which I done pretty easily with just some money transferred from my main. I also had to do summoning. That was a little bit harder, but it was still pretty chill because I done some of it at the New Year Crater event when they had summoning there. Then the rest of it I done by doing fire making to get charms, and then I went and done those charms to get XP. I also had to get a little bit of combat, but I didn't want to get too much. I just needed to get a bit of defense, essentially, because I wanted to be a summoning tank. I wanted to have my summoning nice and high, my defense nice and high, and just out-tank QBD with super anti-fires. That was the plan going in, and I'm just going to quickly showcase what I done in brief snippets on the account creation, and then we'll get into the kill. For herblore, it was a very straightforward path that I took. I cleaned herbs, I cleaned the highest herb I could until I hit 26. At 26, I did super energies. I did these until I hit 38, which allowed me to do prayer potions. Did my prayer potions from 38 to 45 when I got super attacks unlocked, and then I continued to do super attacks most of the way. I also mixed in some super strengths as well, as they are decent GP per XP as well. Super attacks and super strengths are both very good. They do change constantly alongside super magics and stuff like that. It's kind of just whatever's the best at the time, and at the time of this recording, super attacks and strengths were the best, and I've done a couple of magics here and there as well. And I ended up doing these all the way until 78 herblore, which then would allow me to boost to make super anti-fires at 85 with a pulse score which gives +7 in herblore. I did a ton of fire making for all of these fire spirits and I got to level 91. Opening up all of these fire spirits gave me a ton of charms. I also used my daily keys in bonus XP and summoning while doing this, so I could train summoning with bonus XP and all of the charms that I got from here. And I completed Wolf Whistle, which gave me a ton of gold charms to use as well, which then got me to 74, and I'll slowly get to 77 with my oddments and my daily keys and stuff like that, while doing all of the other things I needed to do on this account. I had to get my thieving to level 25 to thieve from the Desert Phoenix to get a super anti-fire. I did Pompous Merchants to 5, Cake Stalls to 15. I unlocked the Thieves Guild with the Buyers and Sellers quest at 15, which then allowed me to do Thieves Guild doors to get to 25. Once I hit 25, that's all I needed to thieve the Desert Phoenix, so I went to the desert, pickpocketed the Phoenix, got a couple of feathers to make a couple of super antis with. I then waited for a pulse score boost in the Portables world, and as soon as it hit, I was level 85, boosted from 78 herblore, and I made 6 super anti-fires, which I then turned into flasks. So I had 3 super anti-fire flasks. Then it was just time to buy some armor and get some gear and start prepping for that QBD fight. I also quickly popped to the wilderness with some Aerate bones to get 40 prayer for protect from range. I'm going to need protect from range just so I can withstand the damage from QBD as it halves it. That half is very, very beneficial. I also done 91 to 94 fire making to get a couple more charms. Alongside the bonus XP and stuff I was saving up, I then got 77 summoning. This means I could use a Talon Beast, which is what I'm going to rely on to deal most of my damage while I tank QBD. I got the Song from the Depths quest complete because it reduces the incoming damage when fighting QBD, which is huge. One of the finishing touches that I needed was the Devotion ability. I did an hour and 20 minutes of the Tuskers minigame in order to get this ability with the reward currency there. You can get it from killing Aviancies or Mandosian minions in God Wars Dungeon 1, but I didn't want to get excess combat experience by killing those, and I'm going to kill them so slowly. It was easier for me to just get it this way. Devotion should help quite a lot if I can get a bit of a Dren and use that on cooldown. It's going to reduce a lot of the incoming damage. I also want my pet to be triggering his special attack on his own. So if you right click your summoning bar that's 60 out of 60 on the pet interface, you can set the auto fire rate. I've set that to 1, which means he's going to cast his special attack as much as possible. Then if you use the scrolls on the familiar, it holds the scrolls and it will just continuously cast a special attack. That way I don't have to worry about focusing on that, I can just focus on surviving. This is my first attempt set up with 40 defense. I have a Super Anti-Fire, a Supreme War Master Potion, Spiritual Prayer Potions, which gives me back prayer points and summoning points, 1,000 purple sweets, loads and loads of Super Saradomin brews, and then some air runes inside my small rune pouch. For gear, I have a Ring of Fortune, Amulet of Souls to give an extra 10% reduction to any incoming damage. A God Cape as it gives good prayer bonus, and I don't have a 99 cape. Tier 1 wand because we're not going to be dealing damage with the wand, but we can use it to get a little bit of adren. And a Sign of Death. So if we die, at least we'll deal some damage at QBD. This setup was good, but I was just taking way too much damage. I could not survive long enough, and because I had to keep chugging the sweets, I also was struggling with adren, so I couldn't get enough adren to devotion. And yeah, it just didn't seem super consistent. Because I ended up using way too much food on the first 2 phases. When it gets to phase 3 and 4 where it's actually harder, I then don't really have enough food to be able to outlive that phase. And when I got to the Tortured Souls, when a lot spawned, if they're left alive, QBD would just heal with them, and I need a way to kill them. So I may have to change up my strategy completely because of these Tortured Souls healing QBD back up in phase 3 and 4, and me having nowhere near enough supplies to deal with it. Because yes, I could get my pet to attack them, but even then, it's just wasting so much DPS on QBD and taking way too long. I need a more efficient way to clear them. I went back to herblore and got 89. This then allows me to boost with a pulse score in a portable world again to make overloads. So I just stood around in the portable world until I got the +7. Then I could make my overloads and again put them in flasks, so then I had overload flasks, which made me way more tanky and could also allow me to use a couple more abilities. This, alongside poison bombs, may be enough to get the kill. I'm going to try and poison bomb the spirits alongside getting my pet to target them. With the extra tankiness that I've got from the overloads, maybe I'll be able to survive it and actually get the kill this time round. This attempt I had used less food and got to the last phase. But in the last phase, when it summoned the 4 souls, it was so hard to get my pet to kill those souls, especially when they went to freeze time. I didn't really have the DPS to kill it, and it freeze time on me, which then meant I couldn't kill the other ones. QBD healed to full, and it froze time on me again. So it caused a lot of issues. I need to kill these as soon as possible. Blood Amulet of Fury may be the way to go. The poison bombs didn't work. I went back with the same setup, but instead of the Amulet of Souls, I had an Amulet of Blood Fury. I took a lot more damage because I didn't have that Amulet of Souls passive while protecting range to minimize the damage I was taking. You could see that QBD was hitting a lot harder. So I had less food going into this last phase, and I still didn't have enough DPS to kill those souls before they froze time. So they still froze time on me. I got them much lower, but not low enough. This means I think the only way to kill these are armor spikes, which means I need to go get 90 smithing. Here we go. Then I got 10 mining, which unlocked the stat requirements for the Knight Sword. Done the Knight Sword, got me to 29 smithing. Then I just done different burial armors at different levels. Pretty much the highest level burial armor I could do every time is what I done. I finished it off with a couple of boots though, just because I didn't have any more GP for the last little tiny bit of burial armor. I have no idea how much I spent on this account, but it's been a decent amount for the herblore and the smithing. Remember to use your power burst of Master Stroke whenever doing your smithing as well, as it increases your experience by 36%. Then I just went and smithed some armor spikes. I was just going to use the normal armor spikes. I know you can get alloy ones at 99, but I want to at least test it with the level 90 armor spikes first, because I think it's easily doable with those. I'll have more DPS on QBD, and I'll have more DPS on those souls, which is the most important part. And lastly, because you have to use melee with those armor spikes, I did have to get 43 prayer, which was needed for protect from melee. That took me to level 37 combat. I also have 47 defense from my previous attempts at QBD, killing the souls and stuff, getting XP there. And this was my setup. Look at that beast. With this new and improved setup, I have full AD, which is the same defense as the split bark, but I have upgraded to a Death Touch bracelet. The Death Touch bracelet will deal extra damage to the spirits and QBD, which should really help. Then I've got the armor spikes as well, which should deal a ton of damage also. Then I have the expensive spices with cookies instead of using purple sweets. This makes the cookies heal 250 instead of 200, which is also helpful. So with this new and improved setup, I'm going to try and kill QBD. The kills were now smooth as hell. I done the first phase in 3 minutes and 40 seconds, breezing through that with only using 1.5 Super Sour Brew flasks. I was dealing so much more damage every single phase with these armor spikes and just standing in MD. I wasn't really dealing much damage with the actual melee hits, but Reflect was really chunking it down as well. And because I was eating a little bit less food and focusing a little bit more on Super Sour Dough Brews, I could always use my Devotion and stuff as well for even more damage reduction. Phase 2 was down in just over 8 minutes. Phase 3 was just as smooth as the other ones, and I got it down in just under 14 minutes. It was on to the last phase. And in Phase 4, I could easily deal with these Tortured Souls. I would save my Reflect to use on the Tortured Souls. I'd get my pet to attack them, I'd have my armor spikes working, and the Amulet of Blood Fury, and it just melted those souls. It was going so well, but disaster did strike. One lot of Tortured Souls spawned, so I did what I normally do. I saved my Reflect, I popped my Reflect, I DPS them down as quick as I can, but the spell directly after the souls was the time freeze. And I just couldn't DPS it in time. I got frozen, and in the time that I was frozen, I was dead. But this is the setup. This is how I'm going to get the kill. So we went back for another round. I got level 48 defense, but I remained 37 combat. I was really nervous I was going to get too many combat levels. I did level up a lot when actually killing QBD and the souls and stuff, but we didn't actually gain any more combats past 37, thankfully. Nearly 19 minutes into this kill, trying our best to DPS QBD and all of the souls and everything down as fast as possible. We hadn't had a time freeze yet, and I was paying so much attention to it. This was the kill. I had tons of supplies. I just had to really watch out for the freeze time and do my best to kill those souls as quick as possible. Melee is definitely the way to go, and keeping as much adrenaline as possible for those reflex and stuff on those Tortured Souls is the play. Nice, we got it. It's done, surely. Surely. Extremely Hot Flames, move over. Go on, spec, my man. You have so much spec attack. Go. Hey, we finally did it. 37 combat. After all of those attempts and changing up the strategy completely, we got that QBD kill. Those Tortured Souls were a lot more difficult than I anticipated. Level 37 QBD kill, but was it the lowest in the game? I messaged Mod Porky if he could go and find out the lowest level kill in the game. He got back to me about a week later saying the lowest level kill in the game was level 37. And that is me. So we are confirmed the lowest level QBD kill in game. It definitely can be done a little bit lower than that. I did level up a lot with changing up my strategy and attempting QBD. Now I know how it's done, it could potentially be done at like level 33, 34 combat, but if you start pushing it any lower than that, you'll probably start running out of supplies and not have enough defense to tank it. Hopefully you did enjoy this video. Give the video a like if you did enjoy, subscribe if you're new for loads of future content all related to RuneScape 3, and until next time, see ya.